Frustration. Yes, frustration. It will happen. And you as a composer better know how to deal with it. Or better yet, just avoid it altogether. A lot of these topics, these frustration topics or subjects are equally frustrating. But there are a few that are at the top of the pecking order. And finding paying work is one of them.
Actually finding paying work might be one of the hardest things to do in film composing. It's hard enough finding decent projects to work on, which and that's if you're doing it for free. A lot of the footage that you're going to be working on is going to be crappy. Independent, shorts for the most part with no budgets. So that tells you, what kind of footage you're going to be working with. So to find those projects is hard enough, let alone trying to find a project that somebody's actually willing to pay you for. Oh my goodness.
Finding a project to work on, period, is hard enough in itself, especially a project with decent footage. So imagine trying to find a project that's paying you.
So with that, I'll say this. And this should have been in my Who Should Film Compose video. If you're trying to be a film composer for the money, stop right now. Go do something else. I'm trying to help you right now. I'm trying to save you right now from the frustration. Because if you think you're going to be a film composer and actually make decent money from it, you got another thing coming. Just because your motive for film scoring shouldn't be money, your motive shouldn't be money, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be paid and compensated for physically doing the work once hired. Those are two separate things. So yes, you should be doing film scoring for the love of making music. However, at the same time, if hired to make music for someone, you should be paid for it. It's real simple to me. So you have to understand that, and it'll make your life a whole lot easier if you have a sustainable income source already, to where you're not reliant on potential money you can earn for film scoring. I know you look at Hans Zimmer, Brian Tyler, Danny Elfman. I know you see them out there. They're there. Yeah, they're there. But go back and look at their stories. Do some research up on their stories. See how they got those lucky breaks, those big breaks. You probably won't get those breaks. And I'm just being real with you. You ain't gonna hear this anywhere else. You're not gonna get those breaks. 1 out of every 10,000 of us will maybe get one of those breaks. Why do you think you see the same 10 to 15 composers on everything? On everything. Why do you think that is? It's too many of us out here. The market is flooded. Everybody's a film composer now. So you, Mr. Newbie film composer, independent film composer, you're out there now trying to find paying work. The pickings are slim. A lot of these independent filmmakers don't have budgets like that. And if they do, they're not trying to pay for the music. That's another frustrating part of it, is not just the film music world market is flooded, but the music world in this country in general is flooded. Music's all over the place. And directors, filmmakers feel that they shouldn't have to pay for music. That's just the reality. They don't teach you this part in film school.
The problem with that is there's too much music in the world today. I know we all love music, but the reality is it's just too much. Our world is flooded with music, and a lot of that music, unfortunately for us, the creators, is free. Or even if it wasn't meant to be free, people are taking it as though it's free.
So you as an independent contractor have to go out there on your own, looking for work. Not only looking for work, looking for projects to hone your craft, but you gotta actually try to negotiate getting paid, let alone what you feel you're worth. But just getting something, it's funny. It's funny. Here comes my son. Okay. It's funny that you gotta beg and plead just to get gas money. Sometimes, and I'm not exaggerating. I know it's funny, but I'm not exaggerating because it costs a lot to make a film. It does. In all honesty, it costs a lot to make a film. And in the shoes of the director, if they think they can get something for free, they're going to try their hardest to do that. And when you have music all over the place, for free, they feel, well, even if they don't want that free music, they might want a composer, but they're going to use that as a tactic to not have to pay you by making you aware that, hey, there's free music out there. There's, royalty-free websites and all that stuff out there. I don't have to pay you, Mr. Film Composer. Okay, fine.
So in the director or filmmaker's mind, they're thinking, why should I have to pay for something that I can get for free? This is really what they think. If you ask them to be honest, this is what they're feeling. Of course, this isn't all. Everything I say isn't for all and everybody. It's just a lot of them in my experiences. But people generally are the same in most ways, at least in most industries. And a lot of directors, producers, filmmakers in general are all the same. And believe me, they're not going to pay for something that they think or feel they should be able to get for free. And music is at the top of that list. As important as music is to a film, and they'll acknowledge its importance, they still feel like they don't have to pay for it because they can go get it for free. And they'll be quick to throw that up in your face as some sort of a bargaining chip or leverage, better yet. They'll use that as leverage to try to get you to buckle.
So let me give you the comeback to that. You, as your own spokesperson, have to be able to get them to understand that, look, while there is free music out there in the world that they're more than welcome to, they would then have to sit and edit it and shape it and craft it to match their specifications for their film. Or they can pay you, the composer, to customize exactly what they want, or as close to exactly as what they want as possible, and have a nice professional product. Or they can go ahead and go to the royalty-free websites. And even those websites, they still have to pay something, I believe. So the bottom line is, people aren't going to pay for something that they think they can get for free. So it's going to be up to you to sell yourself on not only your talent, not only the fact that you're good enough to provide this service for them, but that you should be compensated as well. And if you don't do that, you're going to get taken advantage of. And because they can take advantage of you, then they're going to think they can take advantage of me. And then the next composer behind them. So
you got to keep that. You got to understand that while you got to, acknowledge that there is a lot of music out there that they can get for free. But it's up to you, the composer, to get them to understand that while they can get that free music, they still got to now take time out of their schedule to cut it up and edit it and shape it and craft it, form it to whatever they, need, versus hiring you to customize it and get it as close to what they want, as possible. Only a live film composer can do that. No matter how much cutting and shifting and editing and stuff you do to an already pre-made track, it still doesn't compare to a customized piece of music to go along with picture. So it's a problem. Free music out there in the world is a problem for film composers. So all we really have is our voice. If we don't speak up for ourselves, then everybody's just going to run all over us, like they basically already doing.
It's an extremely hard and frustrating thing to try to find work, let alone trying to get paid for the work that you find.
And not only is the world flooded with music, but our country, the United States, is flooded with film composers. Now with the advent of technology and, not having to write music that is on paper and have to deal with live orchestras and all of that, You could be a film composer, self-made film composer, and never leave your house. So we have a bunch of film composers out here, thousands of film composers, all looking for work, all looking for projects, and all looking for paying projects, and it's not happening because there's a lot of it costs a lot to make a film, and you have a lot of filmmakers that don't have budgets. They just simply don't have the budgets, and if they do, they're going to spend it on pre-production, so in production, not post-production. And it's unfortunate for us that we come at the end of a project. It'd be different if they needed us at the start of the project, but they don't. They need us at the end of the project after they done blew through the budget, and then they come to you like, well, we can get this for free. We just trying to do you a favor. You know what I'm saying? Like they doing us a favor. So it's a crazy thing, and it's one of the hardest things to do, and it gets extremely frustrating when you know what you bring to the table, but they trying to chump you, by trying to get you to work for free, by trying to get you to leave your family for a while for free, by trying to get you stressed out for free. Nah, you can't let that happen. I understand at the very beginning, you're just starting out, yes, do a couple short films for free, just for you. You're not even doing the filmmaker a favor. You're doing it for you, for your homework, for your research, so you can perfect your craft.
When you're first starting out, do some projects for free or on spec. You got to do something in order to figure out if you can do this or not. So unless you're a filmmaker yourself, then you need to go out and find some film. Go out and find a couple shorts to do. Either way, at the beginning, you need to practice, and you can't practice on anything other than actual footage.
But after that, after you feel like you got it, and after you feel like you should be paid for your work, then you got to go get that check. Don't let these filmmakers out there chump you, because they will try, and it's nothing against them. That's just business. So you can't let it happen.
It's up to you to know your self-worth, and if you don't think you should be compensated a decent fee for your work, then the directors and producers won't think so. And you don't, believe me, you don't want to get a reputation of being the composer that works for free or the cheap composer. Any one of those labels you don't want. You want to get the reputation of don't even call him. You can't even afford him, or understand that if you call, you're going to pay something. If you're going to have a reputation, have the reputation of he's not working for free. It's fine to work things out with people and negotiate and things like that. They only have what they have, and at least if they come to you on a humble, like, look, I only have this amount for music budget. This is it. This is what I have to work with. Then you as a composer, you have to decide, are you willing to work for that or not? At that point, it might not just be about how much you feel you're worth. It might just be about the relationship with the director, or potential relationship with the director. If you choose to do this for what would be less than your normal fee, it may be worth it to go ahead and do it for that particular filmmaker. You never want to get that reputation of working for free, because once that stigma is out, bae. My wife's yelling at me. I gotta go.